Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the session. The title of today's session is Journaling as a Self-Counseling Device. Our guest speaker is Dr. Vasudha Agarwal, who is a counseling psychologist with over 15 years of experience in teaching, mentoring, training, and counseling across all age groups. Throughout her 15 years of career, she worked as a life skills trainer and a counselor in schools, hospitals, and corporate settings. She has volunteered with various NGOs, served as a curriculum specialist in a Reggio Emilia inspired preschool in Singapore, served as a lecturer of child development in Delhi and Punjab universities, worked as a school counselor, and held the position of clinical director at a digital mental health company. She sees herself as a lifelong student and a teacher. Her love for journaling began 4 years ago and had such a profound impact on her well being that it now holds a special place in her life and in her counseling sessions. Welcome, Vasudha ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us today on the Yes platform. Look forward to an interesting session with you, ma'am.
Thank you, Arunima.
Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And so let me just start with sharing the screen. Just a second. Is the screen visible? Just do this.
Yes, the screen is visible. If you prefer, you can make it full screen. Yeah, now it's full screen.
Now it's full screen. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for this opportunity to be here and share my experiences on journaling. And yes, journaling has been a very transformative experience for me. And that's why I would love to speak on journaling and the joy that journaling has given me. So I would like to spread that joy to everyone. So to begin with, I would like to give my gratitude from the bottom of my heart to my teachers and parents, grandparents, who have guided me to trust the process and seek answers within. And also, the journaling that I've learned is like 4 years ago from Manoj Pavitra and Divyanshi from Poonam or Oroville. So I'm very, very grateful for them to offer these services and God gave me an opportunity to learn from them. Shri Aurobindo and Mother for the grace, teachings, and this wonderful community. Dr. Ramesh Bislani sir for this yes community and the opportunity. And all my journaling friends from whom I have learned a lot. So this is the deep gratitude from my side. And as I just mentioned that, joy of journaling, journaling is very, very joyful, has been a very transformative experience. And I have found the joy within through this process. So I ultimately, in my counseling practice, in my day-to-day life, this is my ultimate, a passion that to spread this joy. So I'm very, very grateful to be here. And I hope that the joy that I feel for journaling that, you all carry on with you. So the topic, because today the topic is journaling and counseling. So just let me just draw a parallel between both of them. So basically, what do we understand in a very layman language? What is counseling? So in the counseling, what happens is that, there is a person, a professional, and any person or a family or any, a couple, they are facing any kind of issue which they are unable to solve among themselves. So they reach to this professional, which this professional provide them with an insight, and then going by asking a lot of deeper and deeper questions so that they get into found an insight, and then finally develop an action plan to work around it so that they find a solution towards it. So that's what counseling is. So if we draw a parallel to the journaling here, so what does journaling do? So in the journaling is the same process. I, as a person, is facing some kind of issue. I feel very stuck. I don't know what is the solution to it. So what I do is that, I write. I went as a to a counselor. So here I went on a piece of paper. I write whatever is coming to my mind. I keep on writing it, and then eventually by going keep on writing it, I go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into my emotions and thoughts, and finally reach that aha moment, that insight that provides me with a different perspective to my problem. Generally what happens in the counseling, or generally what happens when we are looking at when we have any kind of problem, we basically have a very dichotomy kind of a thought process. It's a black or white thinking is there, like either or. But when we go into a counselor, or when we do a journaling, what happens is that we get to know more than two perspectives, and then based on that perspective that we receive, we do we have an action plan, and then we work on it. So that's why we hear that as our topic is journaling as a self counseling device. So this journaling, when you write and then get an insight and you work on the action, it can act as a counseling tool itself. You don't need anybody. It is available 24 by 7 to you. You don't have to take the appointments. There is no goodness of fit that is required. Oh, this counselor doesn't suit my preference, because you have an inner voice who is guiding you. So it's available. There is no time limit. There is no limit of any time and the space, that okay, it's at the morning or the evening. So that's why this journaling really 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 is helpful. So this is just a basic concept that I want to give as journaling as a self counseling tool here. So also, we all have done a lot of diary writing in our childhood. I remember in my third grade, that was compulsory diary writing in the school that we have to do. And we just used to copy because we have to show it to the teacher that we have done the diary writing. So what is the difference between diary writing and the journaling? So diary writing, we just write, about our day, about our emotions, whatever we want to write, but we don't get an insight. We don't get an insight. Don't go deeper. We don't get an insight, and we don't have an action plan that we need to work on. So that is how this diary writing and journaling are different. In journaling, the basic aspect is that you receive an insight, and then you take an action. So that is very, very important in the journaling. So, as in the counseling, the most important thing is that in journaling also we are providing with a very safe and non-judgmental and confidential space. So it's your book, it's your notebook, you are writing on it. So it's very safe. The paper is not going to judge you. Whatever you, there have been a lot of counselors also. You will feel that some clients would say that I feel very judged by that particular counselor or something. But this paper, when you're writing, it provides you with a very non-judgmental space. You can just write whatever you want to. You can choose the tools of journaling, which we'll discuss, slightly later. And then you receive an insight, and then you finally act on the action. So this was just a little foundation that I want to build up on the journaling. Okay. So now it will be more of my story. Journaling is basically, is a very personal story that you write in your journal. So from now, like from this slide, I will be just talking about myself, that how, journaling has helped me and how it came into my life. And I think we all learn from each other's stories, and I hope that my story would influence you and inspire you to continue or initiate the journaling process. So it all began, right? So I lost my mother 8 years ago, and I was completely lost. So what was the thing? Generally, what is the behavior that comes up when you are lost, when you're confused? Is flight, fright, or freeze. You are avoiding the situations, you are fighting with everybody, or you are numb. You have no direction where you are going, because you are not just processing your emotions. So that's what happened with me. I had this behavior, and I was completely lost. I really don't know, what was happening. All of this flight, fright, freeze, whatever the people were saying, fawning. I was pleasing everybody. So, so there was no time to pause and reflect, because I was just wanting to be not I didn't want to deal with my emotions. And so there was no time of pause and reflect. I was just running and running, and all my this behavior were going on. So these were all very unhelpful, and it led to a lot of issues. Autoimmune disorder, and and then a lot of relationship issues, and lot of career issues. A lot of things were happening during that time, and everything was very unhelpful. Obviously, I was going through a lot of emotions. There was a lot of behind this behavior. There was like underlying, iceberg. This is kind of an iceberg. There were a lot of underlying things that were happening. Like I was behind this behavior was a lot of guilt, a lot of shame that I was not there. I didn't do enough for my mom. There were a lot of those kind of thoughts which were very unhelpful, which now I realize, but those were the thoughts. So my value that, okay, I'm a very loving daughter, that was in conflict because I was not there when that happened. And then obviously my need of love and belongingness, because for me, I didn't need a journal by that time because I had my mother. My mother was a journal to me. So, there were a lot of conflicts that were happening at that time. So that was my story behind that behavior. So, and the problem was that I didn't pause and reflect. So when journaling came into my life, so that is the time when I paused and reflected, and then it became very helpful. All these emotions and thoughts from unhelpful, they moved to helpful. So this is how this journaling, acted came into my life and helped me, to counsel myself. Though I'm a counselor, but journaling came into my life, long time back, later, and it helped me. So everyone has a personal story, and this journal, helps you to, discover your personal story, explore that story, and helps to transform it. So everyone has a very different motive, why they do journaling. So why I do journaling is because, I have a tendency to get stuck. I think like everybody else, I get stuck very easily. There is a river that is flowing, and then there is a block, and then I hold on to that block for a long, long time. And then it takes me a long time to, remove that block and move ahead. But with the consistent practice of journaling, everyday journaling, have removed those obstacles. I can see that the day I journal, which I do mostly every day now, I feel that, my day just flows. So that is my motive. That is my motive of why I do journaling. So everybody has their different motive, and they have to choose their own motives to journal. So that, as I just said, this is my motive to journal. I journal because it works for me, you know, and no one will take journaling. I'm into counseling practice, and I have my children, I have my family members, and I know the importance of journaling. And I've told so many people, that journaling is very effective. But, if they will take it only if they know that it will work for them. I do journaling because I know that it works for me. So you have to really see that why, find out your why you have to do journaling. Because I feel very lost still today that in the morning, if I don't do journaling, I feel that there is something lacking. I don't go with the flow. So this is why I do journaling. Okay. So as I just mentioned, how did I start journaling and how you can start the journaling? See, it's very important, I think, to begin with. I feel I will be sharing my personal experiences, and you can see what works for you. So during the COVID, I joined this boot camp by Poonam Orwell, and so they asked us to join and choose a topic whatever is closer to your heart. So I chose this topic of loving boundaries. As I said, I have no idea where I was going because I was in that kind of a static, confused and blocked. So I chose this topic of loving boundaries, and journaling was a very, very important part of that loving boundaries course. So here we used to get together. We were about 5 or 6 people. We used to get together under the guidance of Manojda, and we used to write, and then there were about 4 or 5 aspects that we start writing on, like journaling. I will be talking about that later also. Free flow journaling, journaling to the inner child, and relationship journaling, journaling to the inner guide. And that really helped. So basically, when we're talking about the loving boundaries also, how would you know that what you have to protect, what boundaries you have to set, unless until you are self-aware of what your values, your needs. And that's how journaling helped me to be more self-aware. And then I know that, okay, these are the boundaries that I need to set around. So this is a community that I feel that it's always helpful to be a part of the community when we are doing journaling, because sometimes what happens is that you receive so many insights from a community that sometimes you feel that you are not able to get it from yourself. I still remember there was one person in the community. She said that once you hear about insight of other people, you get to know, you feel that somebody has put in words to your insight. Sometimes you are unable to express, but because by hearing someone's insight, you feel, oh, this is what basically is my insight. So it put words to your insight. Sometimes you are unable to express. And there was still an insight that somebody mentioned, and it still hold for me, was that we all were searching for purpose. I know, as I told you, that I was also searching for a purpose. And the person said that during this journaling, I got this insight that what if I'm living the purpose right now, that just taking care of my family and being with around my children, and that is the purpose of my life, and I'm looking for some other purpose. So that was like a very aha moment for me. Maybe that I have not got an insight from my own journaling, but you receive an insight from other people. So that kind of insight that helps to do in a community, but you can do it solo also. So for solo journaling, one, it's very simple. Have a journal to and a pen and just start writing. There might be a writer's block. There might be something that's coming up, but start small. If generally it's said that, set a limit for about 15 to 20 minutes in the morning. There is a book by Cameron, Artist's Way. So he mentions that, first thing in the morning, write for 15 to 20 minutes, 3 pages. So, but you don't have to put a pressure on yourself to do that. You can just, start small. You can write 3 lines and then, move on, and next and next. You can keep on doing that. Even if these are thoughts are coming to you that I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, just write that. So just get into the habit of writing that. Slowly and slowly you will get deeper, because it's definitely a challenge for your inner self to open up, because we haven't listened to your inner self for a longer time. So it will take time for you to go deeper and deeper. And of course, you don't have to be perfect. No, there is, you don't have to be very perfectionist. You can make as many spelling mistakes as you make. You don't have to worry about the handwriting. You don't have to, there is nothing called as this is silly, this is stupid. You can just write down whatever you want to write and just keep on writing. As we say, it's a very non-judgmental space. Choose your space and time. It's your thing. You can do it in the morning. You can carry your journal with you all the time. You can keep on writing. I try to carry a journal every time, especially in the time when I'm really confused. So I keep on writing and jotting. It really helps me to clarify my mind. And, at the night, some people prefer to write at the night. And, some people like to keep a very proper table, and with the diya and like lit up, and then write, make it a very sacred space for the journaling. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. I do it early in the morning. Very first thing in the morning, I wake up and I just write. That works for me, as it gives a flow to my day. So that's my way. And it's completely dependent on how the person wants to do it. There is no right or wrong here. So again, there are a lot of journaling techniques, as we have discussed, that, there are a lot of tools that we can use, and every tool have a very specific purpose. So, free flow writing is a very, very common thing, in which, you just write whatever is coming to your mind. So that is the called as free flow writing. Just keep on writing, and just, and get an insight, and whatever the action plan that come to your mind, you can work on that. So that is a free flow writing. There is no set rules, or, this is how it needs to be done, or nothing like that. You just keep on writing. There's no time limit. You can keep on writing as long as you want. So this is the free flow writing. Just keep on writing. And then there is the inner guide. This is my favorite one, and this is the mostly that I use also. So inner guide is something, so first you need to believe in this, that there is some supreme power, or there is some inner voice, or there is some highest self. there is some inner guide who can guide you. So that kind of belief is required for this inner guide journaling, so that any divine figure that you believe in, that you write to that divine and seek guidance for any problem that you have. For example, you have some issues going on career wise, you are looking for a direction. You can write to your divine, favorite divine that you have, that okay, dear that dash, I'm going through this, can you please help me out? And then let the divine write to you that okay, dear Vasudha, I think this is this. And just keep on writing, and whatever the guidance that you're receiving from it. This is my favorite, and this is the one that I do it in the morning. I write to the divine, and I feel it works for me. It really works for me, and I receive the guidance and I work on it. So, this is a very beautiful inner guide journaling. Then, there is kind of an unsent letters, which we call to your younger self, to your future self, or to any relationships that you are struggling with. So I will go in detail about this as well. So here you write to your younger self. For example, I'm Vasudha, and if there is some nickname, so I'll write to my younger self that okay, dear Dash, it has been really long that I have been in touch with you. How are you feeling? Just trying to, gauge that how you feel about your younger self. And then let that younger self write to you, reply to you, that how the younger self is feeling. So this is basically, you are trying to bring that, get in touch with your younger self, where you might have repressed a lot of emotions, but when you write to it and go deeper and deeper into it, you might, you know, go and meet that joyful or peaceful or some that inner child which you have forgotten. And similarly for your future self, that is the future that self that you are looking for, and you write to that okay, dear Dash, I'll be meeting you after 20 years, then okay, how do you feel? And you can see that what is the guidance that you are receiving from that. So these are the unsent letters. A lot of movies also have mentioned about them, that, and a lot of clients also, they prefer to do this, the inner guide and inner child, as compared to the other journaling methods. And there's a movie by, I think, based on the novel Judy Bloom, that Hi God, I'm Margaret. So there also she seeks her own identity through journaling and writing to the God, unsent letters to the God, and how she, found out her identity through writing these letters. So this is based on that. And then another one is on the relationships. I think relationship is a very, very big issue, and we all struggle with on a day-to-day basis. So, here also we write to the relationship that we are struggling with, and then you work around it, then you seek the guidance, and then what is the insight that received, you act on it. So this is a little brief about that. I'll just share my experiences now with it. And and along with that, there are other things that you can work on the prompts. Sometimes when you are starting with it, you feel that it will be best to have some kind of a prompt, like okay, what are my 5 core values, what are the things that I'm struggling with. So this kind of prompts also helps to us to journal better. Then art and drawing, it always helps. Sometimes people are not very okay with writing. I'm a writer, I love to write, so I write, but sometimes people like to draw, so it's perfectly okay. So when they think of about free flow writing, there's something coming to them, something is emerging for them, they can draw it rather than writing it. And then sometimes people like to play music while they're journaling, sometimes they don't. It completely depends on the person to person. Okay. So, as I've already mentioned, that journaling to the inner guide is the, you know, is a kind of writing where you write to your inner guide, highest self, or divine, or the universe. And this kind of inner guide meditation, that inner guide journaling, can start with the meditation also, because it keeps you grounded. So my favorite is, do a deep cave of the heart meditation, because it, get in touch with the divine within me, or to my inner self. And then I write and then seek guidance. And it completely, if you're working in a community, you're in a community setup, you can share this insight with the community facilitator or the counselor. And most important is you act on the guidance that is received. Okay, this is something that I would like to share, that, like one of the community member shared this. And so this really works very well for a lot of people, that they write to the divine that, okay, for example, any kind of issues that you're facing. For example, this person is into the binge eating, and then she said that I has received this insight that, okay, whatever food you're offering, you offer it to me. That is the insight that she received while journaling to the inner guide. And she said, then she put that in action, that in the morning when she is having that nariyal pani and then coconut water, she is feeling that she is offering this to the divine and she is having it. So it really helped her. She felt very, very peaceful after that. So that kind of, and I have found that in a lot of, unhealthy lifestyle issues also, this journey to the inner guide really works. And yeah, so this is one thing. And uh, so this inner guide, I think, is something that very, very commonly people can get used to. Okay. So again, I would say that, coming to this journaling to the inner child or the future self. So here also you write to your younger self, and ask for the well-being, and let the answer come. Have faith and let the answers come, and be there and write whatever it's coming on. And then obviously it's an optional that you share, but I think the inner child might be very triggering sometimes, especially if you have been gone through a lot of traumatic childhood. So it's always better that whenever we do an inner child, it's better to do it with the counselor first, and then, and then you can carry it on your own. And obviously the next step is you aspire and act on the insight that is received. So yeah, so this is something that I would like to share with you. So this is my inner child. The first time that I did my inner child is that, I wrote about my inner child. I kept on writing. So ultimately, keep on going deeper and deeper. First of all, might be a lot of overwhelming things that, okay, you might have certain guilt, or you might have certain, anger towards your parents, or that, you didn't do well for us, or you didn't do anything, or there must be some experiences that, which are holding you. And whenever you think of your childhood, that is the thing that comes to you. But when you do an inner child journaling, ultimately you keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper, and finally, you connect with that joyful and the peaceful childhood of yours, maybe that one memory. And so what happens is that, with the inner child is, it's the, as it said, right, past is the anchor for the future. So if you can, have a past which is joyful, and that joyful past becomes an anchor for you, just imagine that you can, that can be a foundation for your joyful future. So it's very important to be having a very, very they have a good foundation, and the inner child provides you with that. Otherwise you keep on struggling with the relationship and you won't know why. So again, this movie, this is one of my favorite, this Good Will Hunting, we all know about this. So, it's about the childhood, right? This person is evading, going into any relationship, and then ultimately it's the defense mechanism, right? For 20 years, because he has a very traumatic childhood. And when this person told him that it's not your fault, that child, whatever has happened in the childhood. So that kind of insight, he's lucky to have have a counselor like that. But I have seen that inner child in the journaling also provides you with these kind of insights that really frees you. You gives you a lot of freedom, because you go, oh, it was not my fault. Oh, okay, I have so much to have, joyful. I have a joyful hook to hang on. I don't have to, worry about what all the traumatic, whatever has happened. It was not my fault, and just move on. So this inner child has really helped a lot of people, including me. So inner child journaling is very, very helpful, and it's really great way to connect with your child. if you are really struggling with the relationship, this inner child is something that we might need to work on. Okay, so that was about the inner child and relationships. I think this is something very, very essential and very, very helpful in the counseling practice also, because there are a lot of relationship issues that we are seeing now with the parent and the child, and both the parents together, and friendship issues, So there is a lot needs to work on, and this journaling has really helped me as well as in my counseling process. So this is very, very special, journaling that has helped me. So I'll do in two aspects. So number one is that, in this relationship journaling, it's not important that you have to do the journaling with the person who is alive. So this relationship journaling really helps even in the grief. So this has helped me when as I connected with my mother. I wrote to my mother through this, and I seek the answers. And it has been like what 3-4 years, and I'm in so much of peace. But it took me like before that I was in a lot of overwhelming emotions. But after writing to her and I seek the answers from her, the guidance from her, then so my relationship with her, I could feel her presence. So that has really improved. And this all because of this relationship journaling. So even in the grief and also in all the relationship that we are struggling with. So it helps us to empathize. And generally what happens in relationship, we are just seeing only one side. We are seeing either or either I'm going to keep this relationship or I'm not going. He is bad or she is bad, or he or she is not bad, not bad. So, it's a very dichotomy of the things. So this dichotomy of thinking, prevents the what happens is prevents us to see the perspective of the other person. Through this relationship journaling, it helps you to empathize. It helps you to look at other person's perspective. So and ask again, you write to the person that, okay, please help me to understand you. Really, I'm struggling with you in this relationship. Please help me to understand you. And then let that person write to you and say that, okay, what that person, you will get a very beautiful insights through this, that, okay, it's not that what you are thinking, it's something else, you please, I want your understanding. I want you to communicate with me. I want you to, spend some time with me, or whatever. Beautiful insights will come. And again, the most important is that you have to work on those insights. Journaling works only when we work on the insights. Otherwise, some people feel that, okay, I'm doing journaling for a long time, then nothing is happening, because we are not taking any action here. So it's very, very important to work around it. So this is a relationship journaling. So, many people have found a lot of solace in this relationship journaling. Just sharing a few screenshots from the community here. So one person who has been feeling guilty about the relationship. I remember this one of my clients. She was, a few days into the marriage, 40 days into the marriage, and she was struggling with the marriage. She just want to get out of the marriage. So through journaling, she wrote that others feeling bad because of me taking a stand for myself, or telling no, or not doing things that they expect me to do should not be my problem and should not make me feel guilty. Because she was like so overwhelmed with the guilt feeling that people have so many expectations from you, and she's unable to say, unable to work around those expectations. So she was like feeling so overwhelmed. This journaling really helped. It's okay to say no. So was a relationship counseling that she went to. And one of the member also mentioned that, through this relationship, because I think the most difficult is the relationship, because the communication. Now everybody has so much of low frustration tolerance nowadays that you don't know what to say and what will make other person feel unhappy. Very, very, low frustration tolerance there. So it helps you to, even in my relationship, I think that, when I'm facing any difficulty with any relationship, I just journal it first. So it helps me to pause and reflect. And then with a very peaceful and not with a very negative or unhelpful thoughts or emotions, I approach that situations in a very, very peaceful and calm manner. So this relationship journaling really helps in the relationships, and it definitely makes your relationships more understanding. Okay, I I think we have time. Yes. So this is very beautiful. Another thing that I did with Poonam only, and along with the other journalings that we did. So this has been very transforming for me. So I thought that I should share it here. So this is called the journaling with Savitri, or it's a Savitri painting that they offer. And I still remember that it was very transforming for me because here what we do is that we pick up one line from the Savitri, and we meditate on that, and we journal on that, we draw around that, and it provides us with so much of so much of insight that it's very transforming. So it really helped. I still remember the line that I received. It was abrupt, jagged hills, only the mighty climb. It was on the periods during which I was very lost, and I could really connect to the divine within me through this. So when we say prompts, these prompts could be anything. It could be from any scripture, anything that works for you. So for me, because this worked and it was really powerful, and this by drawing, by journaling as well as drawing whatever is emerging for you, it brings it takes you to the deeper and deeper levels, and able to connect you with your inner voice or the divine, you can say. So this really worked for me. So the most important thing, as we have discussed, is that yes, definitely a lot of insights comes through journaling. When we write, a lot of insights comes to you, but the knowledge must bring a conscious control. So this is uh, the wordings of the mother, that if we don't have an action, if we don't take an action, the journaling is of no use. You must have any knowledge, but the action is very, very important. So here also in the relationship, you might have understood the other person, but you need to act in a very peaceful and a calm manner. Rather, it makes you, as we said, that we have to respond, not react. So through journaling, by pausing, by reflecting, by writing, you are able to respond rather than reacting, and it helps to build a good relationship. So it is a very conscious, controlled action that you take after journaling. So, so as we say that there are benefits of journaling, we have already expressed. The most important journaling benefit that I see is that it builds up agency. You don't look for answers outside. You know that have you have your inner voice, your inner guide within you who can guide you. So it builds up so much of confidence in you that all the outside noises that have been distracting you, this is better, this should be done, Instagram, this is the way the things have to be. So it provides you with that kind of agency that you just listen to yourself, you seek the answers. You might be listening to everybody, but you go inside and then you work around it. So it builds up the agency. It definitely purifies your emotions, as we have in the first slide we have noticed that, right? Helpful and unhelpful, something which is not working for you, it transforms them into those emotions which are working for us, right? Peaceful, joyful, harmony, love, gratitude. So all those emotions, because how much we will complain, right? We'll keep on writing about the complaints, but then ultimately you will reach out to your true soul, and then which holds all the beautiful emotions you have. Thinking provides you so much of clarity, provides you with so much perspectives you have never heard of. All the solutions will come through it. Creative problem solving, critical thinking, and actions we have already spoken about. Actions is something, controlled actions, which builds up relationship with yourself, with the others, and not spoil it. So these are the benefits of journaling. So I think, I don't know whether this will work. Yeah. So this is one of the things that I would like to share, that one of the community members shared this with me. I thought that it will be very helpful, that how journaling has helped her. Please let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear this? Are you
Not
able
now. If
No.
you mind.
Just a second.
No.
No? Okay. Okay. So basically, this is, I'll just share it with you. So this is one of the clients. She mentions that, she has been struggling. Obviously, she lost her child and she was going through a lot of grief and long, and she's, so we just, had this 4 or 5 people got together and did this journaling, and then how this journaling has helped her, and it has become so magical for her that how she has been able to deal with all the relationships that she's struggling with, and now how she has adopted this as a practice on an everyday basis, and now she doesn't seek answers outside. So there are a lot of testimonials, there are a lot of I am definitely a biggest testimonial for journaling, but there are a lot of people who have worked on journaling, who have, that has really helped them a lot. Sorry, just a second. Yeah. So, what is it? So, what is, I think I thought of sharing this, that what is it is the consistency is the key. Let's not wait for something to happen in our life to start the journaling. Right. So I just thought that this is a good doha, that dukh mein simran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koe. Jo sukh mein simran kare, dukh kahe ko hoye. So I think this is so true for journaling for me. If you do it journaling every day, you can really prevent so many problems in your life, because you will go in the flow. There won't be any blockages. You will able to solve a lot of issues, relationship issues, connecting with yourself, seeking the answer. Sometimes, because we, in this day-to-day life, we are just running and listening to so many outside noises that we don't pause and reflect. So if we can do it every day, I think consistency is the key which can help. So journaling is not only therapeutic, it is also preventive. So this is something will be very helpful here. Okay, so the mistakes that we make while journaling is that sometimes we just want the quick results, because it's, we don't have the time. We are very impulsive nowadays. We said, okay, we have done the journaling. Why the answers are not coming? Why the results are not coming? It's a journey. I have been doing journaling for 4 years, and it's a journey, and you have to keep on working towards it. Most important, not acting on the insides. If you don't work on the insides, nothing is going to happen. You have to work on the inside. You have to take an action. Sometimes you also worry about, like, that, how do I know that, okay, what I'm writing, whatever the answers that I'm receiving, whether they are right or wrong, is it me who is writing them? You question that. But the answer to that is that don't worry about the content that you're writing. We are not concerned about the content that you are writing. It's after journaling, how you're feeling. If you're feeling peaceful, if you're feeling, it's a helpful emotion for you, it's a helpful insight for you, then it's working for you. So don't worry about the content. We are just worried about the how you feel after that. If it's giving you a peaceful feeling, as I said, it works for me. It's giving you a peaceful feeling, it is making you take one step ahead, it's working for you. Okay. So ultimately, so it's completely, journaling is something, one size does not fit all. So you have to select why you want to do journaling. Choose the journaling method that works for you. Choose your place, your time, start small, be non judgmental, and choose to share or keep it personal. Completely your choice here. There are a lot of books and courses. So you can also, if you Google, there are a lot of books that come up. So these are the 2 books. This is Artist Way, something that I have read, and it's a great book which I have just shared also. That this Cameron, he mentions that every day write for 15 minutes for three pages every day without stopping, without being judgmental about what I'm writing. Just keep on writing. And this is another book, Let It Out. And there are definitely a lot of journaling programs available. So I've just shared one of the links. So Poonam is one which are offering these journaling courses. So if interested in learning about it and more and go deeper into it. So ultimately, I think it's journey. Journaling is a journey. It's a full, self-discovery, growth, and transformation. And I wish all of you happy journaling. So thank you so much, and I'll stop sharing and open to the, yeah.
Thank you, Vasudha ma'am. Thanks a lot for sharing your valuable insights and also your personal experiences with all of us. I'm sure your session today will inspire so many to start their own journaling journey soon. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you.
As you said, we can open to the participants. If anyone has a question or anything to share, please go ahead. You can drop your messages in the chat box or you can raise the hand, unmute yourself and speak up.
Thank you, Vasudha. It was a beautiful session. And knowing about your personal journaling journey. And I've heard it earlier also, but yeah, there were new points that I could take up from here. One very interesting thing is that it's very preventive instead of just a cure. So it's not just therapeutic, but it is preventive as well. So a lot of emotions, because they become problems because we keep stacking them. But if we keep on releasing them at the right time, we do not let them stack them up. Definitely we can. It's more of a prevention instead of getting into a problem and then trying to come out of that thing. So this is my aspiration for the coming year, and probably this is a time when these reminders are very important, because you generally collate what you did in the year that has passed, that's just passing by, and you're entering into the next phase of your journey. So a beautiful reminder at the right time of the year. So thank you for the beautiful session.
Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you.
Yes, Raj, you have raised the hand. Please.
Uh, Wonderful subject matter, Vasudha ji. I congratulate on the wonderful talk and thanks for bringing all the insights together for us. I have queries on two aspects. One is the prompts thing that you said. So there can be different situations. Now, I am not a counselor, but we all play counselor for our loved ones, for our family and friends at times, right? So, how do you see prompts playing a role? Firstly, for oneself, like for myself, if I start writing, I'm in a situation, I'm facing some kind of a difficulty or something. So, what prompt or what ideas of prompt do you have for oneself? And in case we are just trying to suggest something to our family and friend and somebody who's in a difficult situation, what should the idea of prompt be in that kind of a situation?
Raj, I'll just give you my personal example here that prompts have never worked for me. So I have free flow journaling, inner guide journaling has always worked for me. So I have bought a lot of books with the prompts that okay, I'll do journaling with the prompts, but I was never been successful, and because it really doesn't because I might be feeling something else at that particular time, and I just don't want to feel like writing it. So I want to express myself. I think prompt should be for somebody like who asks for it, that I am stuck, I don't know, in my, like for example in the community that we do, and then they say that can you give us some prompt, then I might show them some picture and maybe something like rising sun, mountains, something related to the nature, and then ask them to write. So they, when they start writing, that resistance stops, then they eventually come to their inner guide only and then keep on writing. So I think it really doesn't matter what prompt you give, it's just a resistance for them to start writing. So give any prompt, show them any picture, show them any words, maybe Kabir ka doha, anything. Just say write on this. It will break their resistance to write, and eventually they will go back to their guide and start with listening to the inner voice. So I think that is something, my personal opinion. I'm obviously, Dr. Bijlani sir can throw more light on that.
One more thing that I have a question on. So, when we talk about like, how is it, how is gratitude journaling different from whatever we have talked in terms of, we were talking about something, I forgot the exact term, but are you getting the point? Like in terms of gratitude journaling, we try to do that only, right? So it's free flow and all those things are a bit different from that.
Yes, Yes, definitely. I think some people start with gratitude. It varies from people to people. So then, even in the free flow journaling, I know a lot of people who will first start with the gratitude journaling and then they move on to the free flow journaling. So it also varies from person to person. And I think, again, whatever works for you. So gratitude journaling really helps that if you are feeling very, very negative and you are unable to see the positive side of the things and free flow journaling seems too heavy for you and you are not a kind of a writer kind of person and you don't want to write, then you can give somebody like, okay, like for example, the children and the young adults, adolescents, you have to give them specific things that, okay, I do a gratitude journaling before you sleep. Write down 3 points you are grateful for. So that really helps. But somebody that who is, I think, can write, the gratitude eventually flows because gratitude is again basically when we say that when we go deeper and deeper, this is a very positive emotions that we are holding within ourselves. So when we are the superficial emotions, go away, we had dealt with it. So ultimately we reach to that inner voice and inner emotions which are peaceful, joyful, grateful, and loved, and eventually we feel all those emotions. So again, it is sometimes kind of a prompt that, okay, maybe this all is too much overwhelming for me. Okay, you just focus on gratitude journaling at the, at night, every day, write 3 points that you works for. So that works that way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, anyone else has a question or wants to share something? Please go ahead. Dr. Bijlani, sir, I request you to share your thoughts, please.
Vasudha, congratulations on working out a beautiful blend of professional expertise and personal experience.
Thank you.
One could see that it's all coming from the heart because it's all within you. It's lived and experienced knowledge. It's not just theory. And that makes all the difference. It was interesting to see how you brought out the uh, parallel between journaling and a journey. Journaling itself is a journey. So the similarity between the two words is not just a coincidence. It's journaling itself is a journey, an evolving process, and something which develops as the person keeps doing it because something personal. And as the person is developing more and more insights, journaling keeps getting more and more effective. One thing which you beautiful that you pointed out was that it's not just writing down. One should develop insights, and then developing insights is not the end. One should act on those insights. So these are all important things because sometimes we go only half the way and just write a little. We get a chance to ventilate and feel that it's enough. That is just self-soothing. But as you said, that this goes beyond self-soothing. It is self-counseling. So in fact, you are doing that entire process which a counselor does on your own. And in that it has so many advantages, as you pointed out, if one can do it on oneself. Just as self-taught is best taught. And in a way, counseling is also a type of a learning experience. So just as self-taught is best taught, self-counseled is best counseled. So I think there was a lot that one could take away. And I mean, just sort of, it's not related to this, uh, but you showed one book by Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. I've not read that, but I've read another book of hers, the same author, and that is, again, a very interesting book. Uh, God is no laughing matter. And in fact, uh, the title is a little misleading. God, when she says God is no laughing matter, she's actually trying to make fun of many spiritual teachers who make others feel that God is something really to be taken seriously. And uh, indirectly, what is meant is that some exceptional people like me have been able to approach God don't think it's very easy, as if for the people to whom they are talking, they can't do it. So that is the type of sarcastic sort of thing that she brings out throughout. Whereas what she says is that, in fact, it should not be so difficult, because God is within us and we can all work out a personal relationship with God. And that's what essentially prayer is about. So uh, that is a very interesting book. And maybe sometimes I can share some things from that with all of you.
That would be great.
With that, congratulations again. And we hope to have you again with something else. I'm sure you have a lot up your sleeves. Everything can't be told in just one session.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to share.
Thank you, sir. So before closing today's session, I would like to inform everyone that the recording of the session and all our Yes Talks are published on our YouTube channel, Yes Spirituality. You can visit the channel for extensive content on subjects, yoga, education, spirituality, and related subjects like self-help, psychology, and wellness. And we are also present on the social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook. We would love to have you over there. Thanks again, Vasudha ma'am, for sharing your valuable time with all of us. And thank you, participants, for being with us today. We'll close today's session with a moment of peaceful silence. Namaste.